Gujarati Mid-day Dot Com સાથે આજે છે શિવ શાસ્ત્રી બાલબુઆ ફિલ્મના અભિનેતાઓ નરગિસ ફખરી, અનુપમ ખેર અને ડિરેક્ટર અજયન વેનુગોપાલન. વાત કરીએ આ ફિલ્મ વિશે. આ ફિલ્મે એમની માટે શું બદલ્યું અને શું પ્રોસેસ રહી આ ફિલ્મમાં કામ કરવાની એ અંગે. But I think this is a film which definitely needs to be talked about. The trailer is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I was watching the trailer, it talks about Rocky. And the character plays an important role in your character's life. It's kind of an inspiration. Let me ask each of you that ऐसा कौन सा character है, you know, maybe a fictional character or real life person which has been that Rocky Balboa in your life?
My superhuman character was Hanuman, because I grew up watching Ramlila in Shimla. हमारे महल्ले में रामलीला होती थी, and I used to find the character of Hanuman ji very fascinating. Yeah. He could fly, he could pick up the, I think he's the first Superman of the universe, superhero.
Yeah.
He's the first superhero of the world.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
मतलब वो पूरा पर्वत उठा के ले आए थे.
Most popular.
And still the most popular. So I think my superhero was always and he will always remain, will be Hanuman ji. As a child, I grew up like that.
Me, I do not have anybody. I was a strange kid. I never was a, like, you know, when all the kids put posters on the wall of their favorite boy bands and all. But I had a small phase of putting like ad campaigns. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So I like the artisticness, like the fashion editorials.
That's so amazing.
Yeah. So I didn't really have a person.
That's very interesting that Nargis said, because I think lot many times it's not the Rocky Balboa, it need not be a person, it could be an idea. So jab I started, I was young, I wanted to do something related to films. I was not quite sure. I wanted to be lyricist first, then I thought I'll start writing. So, but I knew that I have a story to tell. You know, so that was the governing idea. That was my superhero inside me, that there is something that I had to say to the world, and maybe I used movies as the medium to do that.
आपका कौन था? Who was your superhero?
My father.
Your father, yes,
I
of course.
think that has never changed.
Yeah, Shiv Shastri Balboa's superhero is Rocky Balboa,
Yes.
because he changed. He changed his philosophy of life, that it's okay to fall down as long as you can walk up and get up and move on. And Shiv Shastri Balboa, Shiv Shastri was going through a tough time in his life. Even as a person, when I was looking for work as an actor, and I was roaming on the streets of Mumbai, I used to read autobiographies. Chaplin की autobiography पढ़ ली, because उनकी ज़िंदगी से हमको बल मिलता था. Oh, they have gone through such tough times, they finally made it. So I'm also going through tough times, I'll also make it. So that's also very. There was a book of Vincent van Gogh biography called Lust for Life. It's one of my favorite. There is another Russian book by Nikolai Ostrovsky called How the Steel Was Tempered. So they are wonderful books. Now we don't. I used to have an amazing collection of books. I had a book collection of 14,000 books.
Everybody goes through ups and downs. Any such incidences, and you know, again I'll ask this question to each of you, that when you felt that and then next day you were like, chalo, we have to get up and get going.
Start answering.
That's every day in life. That's every day. Every time I wake up, I'm like, you can do this. Let's go, girl. Get ready. You got to go clean the beach this morning.
I think also the last couple of years for everyone, like
Yeah.
post-COVID,
Post-COVID, it has
everybody had to find the hero within, because it was such a depressing time, especially for us in a collaborative art.
We shot this film in COVID.
During COVID times. There is no work from home in movie industry. You know, you have to. A lot of industries you can't do it. So it was a tough time. We all found the Rocky Balboa, or just like Shiv Shastri found this Rocky Balboa inside. I think we all found the heroes, and we saw ordinary people. Anupam sir keeps talking about it. The policemen, the workers, the social workers.
Health workers. In the last 36 hours I've been traveling in autos. So there was this 78-year-old man who was driving the auto. Abdullah his name was. And he said, I said, since when are you starting driving this? He said, 3-4 years back. I said, why? In his own way, he said, I wanted to reinvent myself. कोई काम बुरा थोड़ा होता है सर. So that is exactly the theme of Shiv Shastri Balboa.
Yeah, and Anupam sir, when he showed the video, he said, people are not going to believe me because they'll think, hey, kuch promotion hai. It was actually something which has happened.
I showed him, I said, I have a habit of recording it. So I got it on me. And he said something again fantastic. He said, वो लोग पागल होते हैं जिनके घर में माँ होती है फिर भी वो मंदिर, मस्जिद और गुरुद्वारे में भीख मांगने जाते हैं. Because अगर माँ घर पर है तो कुछ भी आपके लिए मुश्किल नहीं है.
And also, sir, the story about this lady who is helping the kids on
the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warsaw beach. Today, this morning, when we went there for beach cleaning campaign, she and I and Ajayan and along with our presenter, Mr. Rathi, there are these two ladies. Naila, the lady's name was Naila. She is teaching on the beach the slum children. So that's so much amazing work people do. So these are the ordinary people with extraordinary powers and extraordinariness in themselves.
We are talking about, you know, ordinary people with extraordinary power and…
As an actor, this was the most difficult thing for me to do when somebody tells me to play an ordinary person. Because simple emotion, even in there are 9 rasas, Shant ras is the most difficult thing.
Most difficult to perform.
Anger is emotive, repulsion is emotive, laughter is emotive. And she plays an ordinary girl. She's a glamour lady, glamour girl, etc. But that's what's challenging for you.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Was it? And you were closer to home. You were shooting in…
I was right next door,
yeah.
New Jersey, New York. But yes.
But that didn't help you in acting.
That didn't help me. Yeah, I had to act still. Yes, I had to be an ordinary girl.
Yeah.
So I transformed from glamorous to ordinary.
That's right, isn't it?
So, you know, when he mentioned that playing the ordinary girl, was it difficult?
I mean, I have the best standing next to me, and he was so helpful. So I think with someone like this experienced human,
the best teacher.
The best teacher. We're sitting in the school. He teaches from his heart, and he gives such great advice. And I think just listening to him helped to make things easier and smooth.
What is that one advice that he gave you that has stayed with you and that you will remember forever?
I can't think of one off the top of my head because he's always giving advice.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
He's a lot of advice.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. No, I'm teasing. No, but he's always giving advice. I'm teasing the way I'm saying it. The fact that he gives advice on set and off the set is much appreciated because someone like me, I don't really have so many, I don't want to say elderly.
Yeah.
That's not the word. Experienced humans in my life that has accomplished so much that I can actually feel comfortable maybe asking, or if he's just giving me the advice because he can see if I'm struggling or I might need it. So I don't have that. So I really appreciate that. And everything that he says, I take it very seriously, and I try to really take it in and
absorb it
and implement it. Perfect. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
She said that in another interview, somebody asked her, how can you always be so happy? Don't you get affected by negativity? She says, I forget.
It's my secret power.
She is like that. You see, the point is a lot of people can give lectures on this is what I do, but may not practice that. But she actually practices that, you can feel that. And that I think was a great life lesson, that the capability of getting that. Like I am very particular when somebody messages me, I will message back within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes. It's because I don't like red marks on my phone. You know those notifications.
Yes, yes.
Number one. Number two, I think that somebody has messaged me. So if somebody does not message me for 12 hours, I start getting edgy and I say, I don't know, this is a problem. So then I will, today onwards, if somebody does not, I will forget.
Yeah.
That's it.
Forget them too. No, I'm just kidding.
So I think that's something very important what you said today.
And you worked with, you know, Anupam ji, and what was the experience and what is that one thing that you picked up while working with him?
I think most importantly his energy and passion. You know, it is, he'll say, I'll call you in the morning, and I know that morning means that is 7, and I'm sure he's waiting for me to wake up. I'm tired, I'm ready to go. He keeps going and going. So his energy and passion, that is very contagious. And sometimes it's not just me, people are all like, okay, let's do this because, and that's something which I really admire, and I want to learn from him, especially that skill.
Because I love life. I think it's so wonderful to be in our situation. We are privileged. God has been kind to us. The only way we can return this kindness is to enjoy it, is to be thankful and be humbled about it. And these are the coolest thing that I have. Being honest, being hardworking is the coolest thing in the world. And why not enjoy every single moment? A lot of people talk about, like Ajayan has been saying that he has a lot of energy. I have energy because I love life.
Sir, I think it's more like the Van Gogh title, Lust for Life.
Lust for life.
I think I love that title too, because I think
it is
sir,
beautiful.
it actually personifies that title. He has that lust for life. It's not just love for life.
What was the first response after reading the script?
I did not feel tired.
Yes.
I did not. I felt how smooth this script is. No, that page turner has a lot of interpretation that it's a thriller. Yeah. It's not a thriller. I had a smile on my face, and I just it was like nirvana.
Yeah, I agree. Enjoyable to read, because
right.
there's other stuff that you've read and you're like, oh, I got to put this down. I can't finish it.
Exactly.
I'll come back to it later.
When a writer is trying to impress the reader, then it's frightening. When a writer is trying to tell the story, and you move along with the story, and that story resonates with the cameraman, with the sound recordist, with the junior artist, with anybody. Well done, very well written.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's a huge compliment.
I wanted to ask you specifically, you have done some amazing work down south, and now there has been this debate about South Indian films and South Indian content taking over. I personally feel as a viewer that it's content, any language. If it makes me happy, I want to watch it. What is your take, because you have made a film in Hindi?
I think it's just everything is kind of a Twitter debate, but when you really look at what has happened in the industry is, that divide has gone away. I was talking to Anupam Sir too. Anupam Sir has worked with all these industries. He has done Malayalam films, he has done Telugu films, he has done Kannada films. He is one of the people who have done Indian films. There was never a north or a south. Yeah. It was just it was cinema, good content. There was some way people were not able to access these movies. I'm not just talking about south, north. We are talking about Korean film. Even if you look at Americas now, all the films, including RRR, you look at the Japanese films, the Korean films, they are all doing amazingly well. Including K-pop, which is Korean music, is doing amazingly well across the world. So the boundaries are diminishing. I think it's all just hashtags which will go away. Yeah.
You all have worked together. A lot of conversations would have happened, but साथ बैठने का मौका भी मिला होगा. But any question that you want to ask each other?
I have a question. Anupam sir, on the first day of the set, when he came there, he said, Ajayan, I've done 519 films, but there are only very few films I remember. So from that day on, and I've never asked him this question, this was me in the back of my mind, that, sir, do you think this is one of the films that you will
absolutely.
remember?
I've never spoken, I don't speak much about the films that I have not enjoyed working on it, because it doesn't come out. You can't, I don't like to fake things, but the feeling of the mind, of the constitution of brains that plucked me into I have loved it, because that's
so that, guys, that should be the good reason for you guys to come out and watch the film. A man who has done 519 films.
Please watch it.
And this is honest conversation. Nothing. It is not pre-thought about or.
You will love this film. There is no doubt. We are just doing this interview so that somehow or the other you land up in the theatre. Once you land up in the theatre, we'll get you from where you can't move on.
Yes.
Wonderful. It was lovely talking to all of you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.